How's it going, everyone? It's Lumbity here, and today we are going to be talking about a game on the Atari 2600, a game that actually fits winter pretty well. We are going to be talking about Pengo on the Atari 2600. Now, this game is pretty darn rare, so heads up on that one. This is a game that came out late in the Atari's lifespan, came out in 1984, and because of that, it is kind of hard to find, and copies are kind of expensive for this game. If you want to pick up a loose copy, you're looking at around $40 and up. So, yeah, that's pretty expensive for an Atari game, if I'm being completely honest. If you want it with the box, you're usually looking at $100+. So, it can get pricey for this game. So, if you are looking to pick this game up, I would recommend that you try to find it at, like a flea market, or try to just find it in a bunch of different Atari games. Some stores will just have all the Atari games in one section, and they won't actually look anything up, and they'll just have all the Atari games for one singular price. If you can find a store like that, and you just happen to find this game in, a big stack of games for, like, a few bucks, pick it up for sure. It's definitely worth it for that. This game, though, is actually really fun. I'm glad that it is a rare game that is actually good, because there's plenty of rare games that suck, but this is a rare game that is actually good. You play as this little penguin, and you're running around and you're pushing these ice blocks around. And these ice blocks can be broken, so whenever you push an ice block against another ice block, it will break. And while you are trying to walk around these different ice blocks, the goal of this game is to push these ice blocks and smash these little enemies called snowbees. These snowbees will be walking around the area, and you need to try to avoid them. If they touch you, then you'll lose a life, but you need to try to avoid them and try to get them towards these ice blocks and push these ice blocks and smash them either in between ice blocks or smash them in between an ice block and a wall. You just need to try to defeat them the best way you can. Now, that's not the only goal here. There's also snowbee eggs that you have to watch out for. And the way that you tell what snowbee eggs are is you'll see some of these ice cubes actually flashing. And if you see an ice cube flashing for a few seconds, like the whole ice cube flashing, then that means that that is a snow egg. And it will stop flashing eventually, and then you need to try to remember where the egg is. And if you break it, then you don't have to worry about another one of the snow bees spawning from that specific egg. And there's usually multiple on the actual level. And when you smash one of the eggs, it will actually light up the other eggs. The other eggs will start flashing too, so you can know where they're at for a short period of time. And then you need to try to remember where they're at and smash them as well. And if you do that, that makes it a lot easier to take out the snow bees that have already hatched. And then you only have to worry about them. Because if you don't take out the eggs before destroying the snow bees, then more snow bees will spawn from the eggs. So it has a really cool gameplay loop. I actually really like the gameplay loop. I thought it was really fun. It's pretty addictive as well. You can really start sinking some time into this game. And, I kept playing and I was just like, just one more try. And then I would go through, I would get really close to the highest level, and as soon as I would lose all my lives, I'd be like, one more try. And I just kept doing it over and over and over again, because I really do enjoy the gameplay loop. It's really fun. And you can also go for high scores and stuff like that. In terms of the sound design, I actually really like the sound. I think that it sounds really good, so no issues there. And also, I think visually it looks pretty good as well, Yeah, it's an Atari game, of course, but the sprites look good. I think that the little penguin you're running around as looks good. The snow bees look good. I think all that stuff looks pretty darn good. Now, don't get me wrong, the arcade version, the actual arcade version, looks really, really good. But I think they did a good job of putting this on the Atari. It still captures the feeling of the game, and it's still, you can still tell what everything is. So I think they did a good job of just putting this on the Atari 2600. There's 16 rounds in this game, and actually after you complete all 16 rounds, it just keeps going anyway. It just repeats itself, but that's fine. So you can just keep going for high scores and stuff. But I really enjoy it. I really enjoy this game. I think it's really good. Another thing that I like about this game is that there is a little side goal that you can do in the levels, and you'll see these other ice blocks, and these ice blocks have these little, almost diamond-looking things on them, and they will also flash, but instead of the whole block flashing, they'll just have basically the center of the ice block flashing. And when you see that, that means that you need to take that block and try to get 3 in a row using all the flashing blocks that have, just the center flashing. If you can get 3 in a row, put them all side by side, then it will actually the screen will start flashing at you, and it will give you a big point boost, and it will also knock the enemies out for a short period of time. And when the enemies are knocked out, you can walk over them, and they'll become vulnerable, and your penguin basically just eats them up. Think of kind of how Pac-Man does when the ghosts become vulnerable. It's basically just like that. For a short period of time, the Snowbees become vulnerable, and you can just eat them right up. And you can actually do this another way. If you have a Snowbee that is against the wall, and you are also against the wall, you can actually, like how you would normally push a block, you can actually look at the wall and press that button to where you would normally push a block, but instead it will rock the walls. So you can shake the walls, and when you do that, it will make the Snowbees vulnerable for a short period of time as well, and then you can go and eat them by doing that as well. So there's a few different ways to actually defeat the Snowbees, which I really like. I thought that was really cool. And like I said, the whole point of this game is to just keep going, defeating the Snowbees, destroying the eggs, and just keep going to the next level, and try to get the highest score. It's a really, really fun gameplay loop, and honestly, I really enjoyed this game. I thought it was really fun. And another thing that I want to throw out there, too, that surprised me, is that this game actually is by Sega. I did not expect that. So, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game. Unfortunately, it is really expensive, so, try to find it cheap in a flea market or something. Try to find it maybe in a store where they don't really price Atari games very well, or use in-store credit to pick it up. I used in-store credit to pick it up because I got it with the box and I used in-store credit. I don't know if I would spend actual money, like full on, like cash for a game like this. It's great. It is a really fun game. But spending a lot of money on an Atari game, it's a little bit rough. Don't get me wrong, But if you think it looks good and you want to spend the money on it, hey, be my guest. You do that. It really is a good game. I haven't really heard anyone else talk about this game before. And I mean, that's partially because of how rare the game is. But, I think that this game deserves talked about more. It is a really, really good game. And I wish that more people were able to pick up a copy of this game because I really do think that it's a lot of fun. Honestly, Atari should probably do a re-release of this game. It'd probably do really well. Atari's been doing a lot of re-releases for the Atari 2600 Plus and the 7800 Plus. This would be a really good game. I guess it would just be a matter of, if Sega still owns the trademark and stuff, just getting Sega on board. But it'd be really cool to get a remake of this game because I would love more people to get their hands on this game. It is a really, really fun game, and I want more people to talk about it. It's a really good one. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.